Good morning, children. Now today we are going to study the continuation of our topic, that is solubility of gas in liquid. Today we are going to study about the concept of Henry's law. This we have already started, but I have explained you under the example of the effect of pressure on the solubility of the gas in liquid. But today here we will study who has given this law. This concept was given by Henry and how it works. Okay. Now what was Henry's law? What does Henry's law say? That is that the mass of a gas, the amount of that is the gas that is dissolved in particular volume of the solution at a given temperature is directly proportional to the that is pressure applied on the liquid. Okay. So that is the definition I am going to read for you first. The mass of a gas dissolved in a given volume of the solution at a constant temperature is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas that is present in equilibrium with the liquid. This means when the gas is dissolved, that means we have taken this, we can say this is directly proportional to P. Mass of the gas is directly proportional to P, where this can also be written as N is equal to Kp, where K is the equilibrium constant. Now how it works, that we have already discussed in my earlier video, but still I am going to explain to you. Suppose this is a container having a solution here and a gas over here. There is a movable piston here. There is a pressure that we are going to apply. When the pressure applied on the liquid, this is the liquid portion. Now, when the pressure was at one time applied, in this stage, the number of molecules of this gas is in equilibrium with the molecules of the solvent. Now, in this, how much this gas has to dissolve in it has been completed. But as soon as the pressure is increased, when you are increasing the pressure, that means the number of molecules come and get settles over here more. Now our equilibrium stage is reached. That means the number of gas molecules being dissolved in the liquid, and then the liquid molecules also changing to vapor state, and the stage comes when this process is stopped and equilibrium is maintained. So that particular time, the mass of the gas, the amount of the gas that is soluble in the given amount of liquid and at a pressure, and the temperature is also fixed, then that state is known as Henry's law. Now in this, how this Henry law also affects, that is we will talk about the number of no more number of gases are there. We have discussed about one gas in one solution. Now if more than one gases is there, how it affects? Now children, as I said that, now we can see another concept of the same equilibrium, that is the mixture of not one gas. Suppose we are mixing more than one gas. So in that case, Dalton has given one definition. According to Dalton, what is there? When more than one gases are mixed in a given volume of solution, then that mixture, each particular gas is in equilibrium with the liquid. So you can see the definition first. Before going to the Dalton's explanation, here again I was just one point as missed. That is about according to the Henry's law, mass of gas is directly proportional to the pressure applied on the gas at the stage of equilibrium. K is the proportionality constant. This K depends upon the nature of the gas, nature of the solvent and the temperature. This you have to keep it in mind. Next is Dalton. How Dalton had tried to give out its concept and have helpful in finding out the Henry's law. Okay, if a mixture of many gases are simultaneously, means at a time, in equilibrium with the liquid, then more than one gases are mixed in a given volume of the liquid at a particular temperature should be fixed. Solubility of any gas, out of any gas in a mixture is directly proportional to the partial pressure of that gas. That means if we are talking about many gases, if one gas we are talking, what is the pressure exerted? What is the equilibrium exact? How many molecules of that gas, particular gas, is in equilibrium with the liquid, has been dissolved in the liquid? That is directly proportional to the pressure applied by that liquid. Okay, so in that way we can see the equation here. XA is the number of moles of the gas, particular gas, out of many, one gas, suppose A. That is equal to, if instead of equal, suppose proportionality sign we can make, XA is directly proportional to the pressure applied by the gas of that particular molecules. So in order to remove this proportionality sign, K is there, K is the proportionality is constant. Now if we find out the pressure applied by that gas, that will be equal to 1 upon K dash. That is the reverse into XA. 1 upon K dash is known as Henry's constant. That is Kh. Kh is equal to 1 upon K dash. This is Henry's constant. So instead of that reverse 1 upon Kh, we can write a K, 1 upon K dash, we can write a 1 Kh, which is known as Henry's constant here. And in this way, now we are going to see how this Henry's law is effective, at what are conditions and what are its limitations also. Now children, you can see this. Here we can see the slope also. There is one slope, we can make one graph in which you can see this slope. This graph is between the mole fraction of the gases that are soluble in the given amount of liquid and its equilibrium pressure. That means the pressure exerted by the gas when it is about a fraction of gases that we were talking about, and with the solvent. Okay, so in this we will see that as the mole fraction of that particular solvent, that is a solute of the gas, is increasing, thereby its equilibrium pressure also increases, and you will get a slope which is equal to the Henry's constant. That is clear. Now there are some points on which this Henry's constant depends, or the solubility of the gas in liquid depends. That is the Kh is the Henry's constant, is the function of nature of gas. It depends upon the type of gas that we are taking or its solubility in the liquid. It also depends upon the solvent which we are taking and the temperature at which we are working. So first result is that. Second is that if your Henry's constant is more greater, higher is the Henry's constant, lower will be its solubility. You have seen that its solubility increases with the decrease in the Henry's constant. That we have studied is the way. Next is that it also, Henry's constant increases with the increase in temperature. If temperature increases, Henry's constant increases. When Henry's constant increases, then the solubility decreases. That is, we have already understood with the concept. Now next is the limitations. When this Henry's constant works, actually it can work properly when it obeys the ideal gas situation. Low pressure and high temperature, that is the ideal gas situation, and if that is available, then Henry's constant can be very well working, otherwise not. Then gas should not form a compound. That whenever we try to mix some gas or different types of gases mixed in a given amount of volume of liquid, then these should not interact, or there should not be reaction between the solvent and the gases to form any compound. So in this way, we have to see further gone to our topic of solubility of gas in liquid. So further in the next video, we are going to study about the Raoult's law, in which we will study about the mixing of liquids in liquid. Now this concept was, what are its uses? It is used for deep sea diving, in preparing the beverages like carbonated drinks, and for the climbers. So this concept of mixing of gas and liquid is applicable, and it is used in these few examples. So children, so today we have done our one topic of Henry's law. Further we will discuss another topic.